Yerp, what's happening? It's Chris Hall here. You are now tuned into the Chris Hall Show, where we discuss dating and the misconceptions between men and women. And as you can see by the title, much more. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. How was your Christmas? Was your Christmas good? Did you get everything you wanted? Did you buy somebody else something that they wanted? How about kids? You got kids? Did your kids get their gifts? Was Christmas still the same to y'all? Let me guess. Did you trick a nigga into getting you something? A man that's not your man? Did you trick him into getting you something? I'm sure you did. I know you did. You know, when they come to you and they like, oh, what we doing for Christmas, right? What are we doing for Christmas? Christmas has been different, especially this past 2 years with COVID. I've noticed that family doesn't want to gather as much. I've also noticed, I've heard, numerous stories about certain family members not wanting to be around other family members. So you got that as well. There's been situations to where people would single out a specific group of family members. Like, okay, Aunt Tina and her side of the family, they go out too much. So if they're having something, we're not coming over. So it's almost to where people are now judging the people who are coming out. And if y'all call yourselves Christians, you know that you are not the one to be judging people like that, right? You know that. But we still judge people on just their actions. We don't know anyone's status of COVID. And I've noticed even when you do know someone's status, they still treat you as if you have something. I think it's almost like people believe that it's more safe, which I will say this, you might have a point. Some people might say that it's more safe to treat everybody as if they have something just to be on the safe side, right? That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that as well. I get it. But the problem is when you treat other people as if they have something when they don't, you're singling that person out. Similar to, where's AIDS? Is AIDS still here? Is that still on deck? COVID didn't kill AIDS, did it? There's a litany of things that you can have that you wouldn't want to be around someone with. Not saying that AIDS is one of them. I'm just calling out different diseases and viruses and things like that people could have, but you just don't know. So Christmas has been a real bummer lately. Because you can't hang around people. They want to know, are y'all wearing masks there? Now they want to know if you're vaccinated. And that is where we have the disconnect, because a lot of people wear their vaccination card like a badge of honor. Virtue signaling is a disease that all people can catch, and it seems to also be contagious, to where somebody does something that they feel like is virtuous, most likely because others or the government or some type of higher power of some sort deems it as such. Hey, you are saving lives by doing this. Similar to like a philanthropist. You may spend your money on how you spend it, but then someone else may feel more virtuous than you because their money is given back to the homeless. So that person in turn feels better than you because they give back. So with you taking your vaccination, you feel like you've given back to the world at this point. You're doing your part in getting vaccinated for the world, knowing good and goddamn well that not only can you catch COVID, you can also spread it. So this time around for Christmas, we've had a new variant. We've had two new variants since the original hit in 2020. of the COVID Rona. Do we still call it Corona? Have you heard? I haven't heard nobody. That's dead. Corona. Do people still call it that? But since then, we've adopted 2 new strands, 2 new variants, or strains. Is strands or strains? I ain't no doctor, man. I don't know. I don't know. Correct me in the comment section or something. Speaking of the comment section, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube page. Link is in the bio. I try to say that at the beginning, but I just be so fired up to talk. I just get to talking and forget to tell y'all to actually subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, Blase Squaze. Y'all already know what to do by now. So yeah, we got 2 new strands. We had the Delta variant come out sometime around May, is when we all thought that, COVID was kind of gonna dissipate at some point and kind of just dwindle off because of the summertime, we figured. But then we got a new variant, and now in November we have a new variant called the Omicron, which is jokingly called the Omarion. I know all of y'all have heard the new variant been named Omarion. No, I don't do Omarion like that. So think about it. At this point, we have numerous brands of vaccines. They come in your first dose and your second dose, so you've got two doses of vaccinations. And then, just to add you some extra protection to that, you also have your booster, right? So just in case you can't win that race with just a motor, we also got a squeeze of nitrous just in case, right? So now I've noticed a lot of different people are starting to wake up who have been pushing the vaccine, have been, my problem is ridiculing other people for not taking the vaccine. And I know a lot of people in my age group can also understand this, who, let's say, haven't taken the vaccine, to when you hang around your mom, your dad, your uncle, just people in the older generation, they want to not only push for you to take it, they want to ask you if you've taken it. They also may not want to hang around you because you did not take it. And they don't understand that they are in the danger zone. Someone in my age group and lower is not. Actually have a 99.6 or 8, don't quote me on that, but you can quote one of those, is directly from the CDC website. You can check it out yourself, don't take my word for it. That I have that great of a chance of survival, not of not catching it or catching it, because see, that's not the problem here. The problem is having complications and or dying from it, right? That's the problem, because we've all caught a cold, we've all had the flu, some more serious than others, right? But when it comes to COVID, we act like it's a death wish for people who are healthy and in our age group. Mind you, there are precautions that you should take if that's what you feel like, though. Mind you, today's broadcast is only talking about to make the things that you're doing, the things that you're mandating, the things that you're asking of us, make it make sense. My problem is doing anything. My mom used to always say when I was a kid, I was a why child. She would tell me to do something. Mind you, eventually I do it, but I still ask her, why am I doing it? Just to get a better understanding. A lot of us kind of do things blindly because we're used to people telling us what to do. We don't question much of anything. We have a lot of different important things in our lives, and some of us just adapt to whatever's going on. Okay, we got to take some vaccine that they're making us take to make it easier to travel. They say that I shouldn't have as bad a complication if I take it. Yeah, okay, hey, I got an expense report due. Let me go and get this shot so I can fly across country or fly across the United States, because different states, different jurisdictions have different rules for COVID, which is weird because COVID is COVID everywhere, but there's places who have different protocols for the same virus. Think about that. In the United States, we're not talking about traveling the world to where there's completely different regime over there. We're talking about the great United States of America, where the only thing that they're united with is landmass, is what it seems like, because there is nothing united about the protocols for COVID. And that is my problem. So with that, we go into one of the things I wanted to try, since I know you're like, why am I standing up? I wanted to try to play a video if I could. Hopefully y'all can hear it. This is a test run. Unfortunately, you can't do test on live. You just got to go live and fuck up in front of everybody, which should be awesome, right? I know we all love a good crash and burn, don't we? Oh yeah. So I want to talk about the NBA. As you know, I am an avid NBA watcher. Let me not say avid. I watch it when I can. Obviously, we all have lives, and watching the NBA doesn't make me any money, so I can't sit and watch every single basketball game. But I am an NBA fan, right? I kind of took a break during the lockdowns because I feel like the NBA and ESPN as a whole, as they still are now, I mean, I try to say it like they stopped or something, but they're not as bad. They went super woke. Things got really weird inside of the bubble. My LA Lakers did win the bubble championship, but even though I argue with a friend of mine about it, I do understand that it just ain't the same. It just really ain't the same. And I get that. So it was a little strange, but I'm back at it. Arenas have opened back up. People are starting to play. People are starting to come out. The crowd is back. Everything is hyped. Steph Curry's breaking records. It's lit, right? So the NBA has something called the COVID safety, or just safety and health protocols. They try to shy away from saying COVID because COVID is a buzzword. So they say, he's in safety and health protocols. Now, I want to talk to you I want to talk about the vaccines as it pertains to the NBA. As you know, I had a live talking about Kyrie Irving and his vaccination status and the decisions he made that he thought was best to sit out. They end up talking about bringing Kyrie Irving back. So they're bringing him back as the part-time player that they said that they didn't want to be a part-time player when all this first jumped off. They took their stance. Kyrie took his. He hasn't played since, not a single game, right? But now he's back. Now he is coming back, and they are welcoming him with open arms. One of the reasons that they said, the owner for the Brooklyn Nets said, is because things have changed. Now, I don't know about you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have y'all seen anything change as far as as far as COVID goes? The numbers have not gone down. This has been actually the highest death rate in cases since Trump has left office. Trump's had less, Biden has more. I know as a competent individual that one man who is a president does not have any experience in viral medicines or any type of biology degrees. He's not a virologist, okay? This is a president. This is a politician, okay? A politician is not going to save your life. Let me say this again. A politician is not going to save your life. The life you save will be your own, okay? Someone cannot guide you to safety. At some point, we all have to be adults and grow up and make our own decisions. Stop depending on the government to think for you. You have a brain. A lot of y'all are college degrees, have college degrees. You're college scholars, went to Ivy League schools. You have all these fancy titles and names on, but still don't have any common sense. There is no school that can teach you common sense except the one of the Hard Knocks. So Kyrie's now back, and Stephen A. Smith. I like the Stephen A. Smith personality. I know that's not Stephen A. Smith in real life because, one, he didn't used to be so boisterous. He didn't used to be so direct. And when you see him on, let's say, other publications such as like the Up in Smoke, he's a little bit more chill, relaxed. He's not as super woke as he is on ESPN. It is my opinion that Stephen A. Smith, I don't want to say a tool because I'm sure he has some say-so in the things that he does. I'm sure he has maybe some stake in the company stocks, this, that, and the third. He has tenure. He's been there a while. So at some point, once you've been to a company for a while, you feel more of a partner, even though you still are an employee of ESPN. I'm sure you have some pull, but I believe he's more like the political arm of ESPN. He's the enforcer, right? He's the one he's the black guy that they can put on TV and he can yell and scream, similar to how Fox Sports has Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, as we know, we can sugarcoat it all we want, is the Stephen A. Smith on the other network. I mean, come on, the loud, boisterous, extra black personality, unapologetically black, meaning that you can do whatever you want as a black person. That's what unapologetically black means to me. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to play this video here, and we're going to talk about it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Let me see if I can play it. Put this on mute. I'll pause it. There we go. We're going to get it together.
Thank you so much for being with us. We have a jam-packed show. Jeff Saturday will be here. Mina Kimes, Harry Douglas, and Tim Ledwell. We're going to get into all things football, especially the Browns and the Bucks. But first, we have Stephen A. Smith back here with us. Good to see you.
Can y'all hear it? Thumbs up.
Today, you've been off for a couple days. Why don't you tell everybody what's been going on?
See how y'all can see it.
Well, appreciate it, Molly. Good to see you. I'm home right now. I've tested positive for COVID-19. I have the coronavirus.
So, Mr. Vaccination Mask Me Please has contracted the COVID virus. So after all of the talk about COVID and all of the safety protocols and precautions, telling everybody to take your 100th booster shot for the week, he himself, while vaccinated, has caught COVID.
I learned this over the weekend. I got tested 3 times last week prior to the weekend, and I had tested negative. I tested negative before I departed from LA. I tested negative when I arrived in LA. I tested negative when I got back from LA. But then I had a minor, an ambulatory procedure, an endoscopy on a Thursday morning. And then that evening, I came down with a little fever and what have you. And then Saturday afternoon, I learned that I have COVID-19. So I've tested positive. That is why I have been out. That wasn't why I was out Thursday and Friday, but that's certainly why I was out yesterday. It's why, in all likelihood, I'll be out the rest of this week. I'm definitely here today, but the likelihood is today's the only day that I'll be out, that I'll be on the air. I'm feeling fine, mild symptoms.
So my question is this. Riddle me this, Batman. Like I said, I was a Y baby. So what I wanted to know is if you are in these health and safety protocols of ESPN because you've contracted a COVID virus, so much so to where you're sitting at home, why did you have to come on TV only today, or this day, not today, this day, to let everyone know what's going on? Why? It's because I believe, I don't know how true this is. Like I said, I just have a high school diploma. I went to college, didn't finish, wasn't for me. Now I'm on my phone talking shit to you, okay? I think ESPN gets some type of stock or gets paid in some way, shape, or form for pushing the vaccine. Because other sports networks don't necessarily push the vaccine as much as this. This is literally a vaccine push to where, hey, yes, I know you're wondering why I've been out, but I'm going to come on here and say, hey, I have COVID, but thank God I got the vaccine. I'll be good. You're going to hear it here.
Thank God I was vaccinated. Thank God I got the Pfizer vaccine, 2 shots a few months ago. I didn't get the booster shot as of yet because I had the surgery, the minor procedure to do, but I will get the booster shot. But thank God I got the vaccine, because had it not been.
So, Stephen A. has the vaccination shot, his Pfizer, his 2 shots. He did not get his booster. Now, he says he has mild symptoms. He does sound a little nasally. But other than that, he said he has mild symptoms and he visually seems to be okay, right? Now, after he's experienced COVID, he sees that he does not have the symptoms or he has very mild symptoms. He still is going to tell you, but thank God I had the vaccine, because so now my symptoms are mild. And on top of that, I'm going to get my booster after already experiencing what COVID is. There is not mass research that would make me believe that you would catch COVID more than once. Mind you, I'm not saying it's not possible. I would say it is very rare, and it's the last thing I would be thinking about.
That I'd probably be much worse than I am right now. So I just felt that an obligation to just come on the air and to let everybody know what the situation is. I'll be back at work shortly. Next week I was on vacation anyway for the Christmas holidays, but starting the new year I expect to be locked, loaded, and ready to roll. But I just wanted to let everybody know what the situation was. That's why my voice is a bit compromised, to say the least. Again, it's just mild symptoms. I had a fever for about 12 hours. Outside of that, pretty much nothing, just a little fatigue and what have you, and that's all that's going on.
Thank God. And Stephen,
as you see, they try to oversell the situation. Thank God. Oh my God, thank God that you had the vaccination. And yes, you need to get your booster. I don't mind people doing that, but let's not oversell it and win an Academy Award because you have absolutely no symptoms whatsoever. For the most part. You had a little bit of fever and then you were ready to go. Obviously, people have more severe situations and they may want to protect themselves. But don't do stuff like this.
the whole family's okay? Everybody's good, right?
Yes, so far so good. But you know, my siblings and what have you getting tested and all of that stuff. So, you know, hopefully everything's good. But so far so good.
Okay. Well, the most important thing is your health. And I will be here holding it down for you. Obviously, Stephen A., the star of the show. So
thank you.
I will try. Crushed by COVID-19 with 10 players now in protocols, including Durant, Irving, James Harden, and LaMarcus Aldridge. Nets general manager Sean Marks did an about-face after saying on October 12th that the team would not have Kyrie as a part-time player, but would welcome him back when he complied, with New York City's vaccine mandate. Here's Sean Marks with more on this decision.
The overall environment has changed, as we all.
So, as you can see, due to the fact that the Nets were riddled with COVID, mind you, everyone else in the league, for the most part, as far as I know, is vaccinated, right? Because most of their arenas, you have to be vaccinated to play, right? I think it's just a handful. I'm not saying most. But most people in the NBA, as far as I know, are vaccinated. So, and mind you, these are, in the NBA, these are supposed to be, which I believe is the creme de la creme of human beings, meaning these are the most physically fit, athletic specimens that the world has to offer, okay? These are the healthiest people. LeBron James, if I'm not mistaken, spends upwards of $1 million plus on just his health. $1 million plus on his health, working out, getting himself in game time shape, in season ready, in the off season, and we are still forcing these people to be vaccinated. My thing is, you're forcing the vaccination on the NBA players, and they're still catching COVID and having to sit out as if they were not vaccinated. Sometimes I look around and I wonder, am I Will Smith in the last episode of Fresh Prince? Am I in a room by myself and no one's understanding this? Am I going crazy? Have y'all, I know it's gotta be some other people out there like me that just sit around and like, am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I need to stop drinking. Maybe I need to stop smoking. Not me, but you get the drift. So am I tripping? But it seems to me that these individuals, the NBA, they bent the rules back. He reneged on his original statement because the Nets need to sell tickets. Everyone is out, and now they need to make money, so they're going to turn around. Remember, COVID is so serious. You say, you know what? Due to everybody on my team catching COVID and having to sit out for a week or so, Kyrie, he really wasn't that bad, to be honest, man. We really wasn't that bad. We was tripping earlier, and as you hear, he said the environment has changed.
Drastically, it's changed not only from the Nets, it's changed from our staff perspective, it's changed from our players' perspective, it's changed for what's happening outside of our place.
I'm excited to have Kyrie back. Obviously, he's an incredible player. No matter.
So this is going to be my problem with Stephen A. is the hypocrisy.
Tim Legler, good to see you. Happy holidays, sir. I will get to you in just a moment. Stephen A., is this the right move to bring Kyrie back?
No, it isn't. I think it's a horrible move. I think it's a disgraceful move. I think that Nets ownership is incredibly disappointing, and I think that the league should intervene. I want to put this out there, and I want to be very, very clear about where I stand. I'm open to the league invoking its best interest of the game clause and mandating that everybody be vaccinated.
So this man just said that this is a disgrace, it's despicable, he can't believe it, while he is sitting at home with COVID that he contracted and possibly could have gave it to other people as he is vaccinated. So this is what I don't understand. Whether you're vaccinated or not, you can catch it and you can give it. So what is the purpose for mandating someone to take something that does not prevent you from catching whatever you're taking it for and does not prevent you from transmitting it to other people? Stephen A., I'm sure, travels often. I'm sure he moves around, this, that, and the third. But he himself, I'm sure, has worn his mask everywhere. He's got his vaccination. He missed the booster. Damn it. And he still caught COVID, but he's on TV ridiculing someone who did not take the vaccine, who, mind you, has not caught COVID and has not given it to anyone as far as we know. We haven't done the contact tracing, but
capacity. Now, I don't give a damn what you got to do, whether it's Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, whether it's talking to Aaron Rodgers and finding out what being immunized is all about, whether it's something that Kyrie is exploring with the Canadian government, whatever complies or that ultimately stipulates that you are indeed vaccinated, I think that is something that should be mandated. This is a global health crisis.
mind you, this is a person that's vaccinated that is literally talking on TV with COVID.
This is a pandemic. You know, your privacy, yeah, your medical history and all of that other stuff, that's private. That's true. But whether or not you have COVID-19 is not a private matter when you have the ability to be contaminated. I wasn't out partying. I wasn't acting up. I didn't sit up there and overeat.
He says you have the possibility of being contaminated as if you're vaccinated, you don't have that same possibility of getting contaminated as he's on TV with COVID.
Expose myself to anything. This stuff can happen to you just standing in front of somebody's face, for crying out loud. And to have to watch.
So how contradictory was that? He just said he don't go out partying, he don't do this, that, and the third, and you can just catch it from standing in somebody's face. So what is him being vaccinated going to do with catching COVID or giving it to other people, with contracting it or with giving it out? What is the difference? He just contradicted himself.
Brooklyn Nets reverse course and take this position is one of the most shameful things I think they could have ever done. And I'll go a step further. One of the last people in the world who's worth it is Kyrie Irving. Now let me count the ways. Let me preface my comments by saying this. Kyrie Irving is a superstar. Kyrie Irving is box office. I would pay Kyrie Irving $50 million a year. He's worth it as a talent. I want to announce to the world today, I think that anybody who gives Kyrie Irving more than a one-year deal at a time are the stupidest people on the planet.
All right, that's enough for that. We'll wrap it up. I mean, it goes on for 10 whole minutes. If you want to see the video, I'll put the link of the video in the description of the YouTube channel when I repost this. Let's get back to the broadcast here. All right, so everything did work. That's great, perfect. We're gonna start doing things like this more often. I think it's fun, I think it's interactive. I think you guys will like it. I like it. I don't care what y'all like. No, I'm kidding, I do. But as you can see, and mind you, this is a quote unquote social justice warrior in Stephen A. Smith, who literally cried on TV because Steve Nash was hired as the Nets coach. Even though he is a friend of Steve Nash, he still wanted to come on TV to say, there goes another black coach not being hired, okay? So this person literally cries on TV anytime, cries and complains anytime a black person is either fired, not hired. We've had, police shootings and this, that, and the third. He jumps on and goes nuts trying to uplift the black community. Last time I checked, Kyrie Irving was a black person, but you tend to always bash a Kyrie Irving. What I've noticed with people on the left-leaning super woke people, it's really not the color of your skin per se. It's really not. It's your ideology. It's what you believe in, what you follow, what you think, how you think, whether you're strong-minded, whether you're conservative, whether you're Christian, whether you're this, that, and the third. If you're black, but you don't think like Stephen A. Smith, you are the ops. The color of your skin no longer matters. The color of your skin only matters if you believe what he believes. So if Kyrie Irving was taking his vaccine and doing everything that they told him to do, then he wouldn't have a problem with Kyrie. But due to the fact that he wants to be a free thinker and do things on his own, that's when it's a problem. And it just really bothered me to where I just wanted to put that video out and just talk about it and see what y'all think about it. If I'm tripping, definitely put it inside the comments, in the YouTube comments, Instagram comments, shit, in this live comments right now. I know most people, especially in my age group, think how I think, but you all know that if you speak it to most people, you talk about it out loud, you're gonna get ridiculed, you're gonna get ousted from your family, your friends. There's people who are losing their jobs because of these things, because they don't feel like something is good for them, but they're being forced to have to take it just to keep their job and their livelihood. Back to the NBA. Now, you all have to understand, everyone is vaccinated, and not one, not two, but since this health and safety protocol started this year, there has been 120 some odd players who have had to undergo the safety and health protocols because of COVID. So riddle me this, whether you're vaccinated or not, you still catch COVID, you still have to get tested, and if you catch COVID, you still have to sit down as if you were unvaccinated anyway. So can you please tell me what's the difference? Because I'm lost. Then the NBA came out with a statement saying that like January 8th, that they're going to, due to the new strain and the sudden surge of COVID cases in these locker rooms, that they're going to implement some more stringent rules and requirements to where they're going to make they're going to have them come back after 6 days, of testing positive without a negative test. So you can test positive, you sit down, then you can just come back after 6 days. You could still pop positive, I don't know. But you get to come back after your 6 days. That even makes sense. What are we really doing? Are we trying to stop people from catching COVID, or are we just trying to save face at this point? Speaking of face, we go to face masks. They're talking about making the face mask mandates more stringent, or requirements more stringent. Now, you all have watched the NBA. You see how silly masks can be, to where people are out there posting up cats, sidestepping, fouling, flopping all over each other, spitting, sweating, bleeding, clotheslining each other, dunking on folks, giving each other high fives and slaps on the behind. But then once they call a timeout and they go sit back on the bench, what they do? Put their mask on and sit down. Does that make sense to anybody? If this isn't theater, I don't know what is. I mean, I feel like I'm in drama class every time I watch the NBA. It is the silliest thing. You see coaches with their mask on, then when they have to yell, what do? Pull their mask down and yell. I can't be on an island with this. When I watch it, mind you, I try to enjoy the game, but the common sense in me just kicks in like, what in the hell are y'all doing? Remember when they had, I wish I could get my mic right there, to where they had the stick mic that they had like 12 feet away from the NBA player while they're doing their after the game interviews, just to talk to them, and Michelle Tafoya have on her mask and be talking to Blake Griffin, way the fuck over here, and he talking and telling her how the game was. It is the most strangest thing to watch in my life. These people are playing basketball with each other. Okay, a full-on contact sport. Not as much contact as football, but it is a contact sport. You have to guard an individual up close. You can't guard them from back here, because we all know, hand down, man down. So we don't want to do that. But that just takes me to a story about the mask as I close. I know this video has been way longer than I expected it to be, but when I get to talking about this stuff, I get to going. My apologies. Hopefully you all are enjoying this. Some of y'all tuned in, tuned out. I'm glad that y'all even listen to some of the things that I say. I'm really honored just to be on camera, even though I did this myself, but just to be on camera talking to you all. I do enjoy this, and I do it for y'all. I do it because I feel like people need to know the truth, and I think there need to be more people speaking out. Whether you make $1 million or you don't make no money at all, I think that it's still imperative to get the truth out, because the truth is lacking these days. So what I've noticed with the mask, and I'm gonna do a video on like an ex-Baywatch girl who wilded out on the airport and assaulted this dude because he didn't put on his mask while she didn't have on hers. Really strange. I'll do a video on it. I won't even comment on it on this video too much. But the mask stuff, to me, it empowers people to have a false sense of superiority over someone who is, like I said, either not vaccinated or doesn't have on a mask, because the way of the world is wear your mask, get vaccinated. So if you are now different than what the world is telling you to be, now you're looked at differently, right? Almost like an outcast. So they feel superior to you, and some of them even invoke certain fabricated privileges upon you. So you'll have people who have on their mask, you don't have on your mask. They will approach you and tell you to put on your mask. Not someone working at the establishment you're at. I'm talking about a civilian just like you will walk up to you and say, hey, where's your mask? I remember when I was in Florida and I was working, I was on a job site. I was in a senior community, right? And they did have signs posted around that said to wear your mask, you know, in the places where you should wear your mask at, like the elevator, maybe the community hall or something like that, is where you're supposed to wear your mask. So I'm inside of I'm in the parking lot, and I'm kind of inside of the truck. But I'm not sitting in it just as yet. My head is inside. I'm talking on the phone, right? Trying to get something situated. This old lady walks by. Mind you, I'm outside. This isn't a parking garage. I'm outside. This lady walks by and she says, hey, she's like about 50 feet away. She's far away. She's like, hey, where's your mask? Right? And I got my headpieces in, so I see her. But I don't think she's talking to me, so I go about my business. She says it again, yells out, hey, where is your mask? I said, oh my goodness, she is talking to me. Let me address her. I said, what? She said, where's your mask? I said, why are you asking? I'm outside. She says, the rules are you're supposed to wear your mask. I say, I don't care. I am in my personal space, not bothering anybody. So I want to stop there. I'll tell you the rest of the story. But this is the derangement syndrome that I think the media is causing in some weak, feeble-minded individuals, due to the fact that most of the world is very soft. And I'm not talking about soft like I'm some gangster that's going to do drive-bys and do 187s. I'm talking about weak-minded. You don't have to get in a fist fight to be strong-minded individual, to be an individual in general. And that's what I'm starting to notice is the world is full of them. And those are the people who make the big bucks, who are on this TV screen telling all of you all what to do and how to do it. Okay? Now back to the story. I say, well, I'm outside. What do you mean put on my mask? I'm nowhere near you or anyone else. I'm damn near in my car. So she said, the rules are to put your mask on. I said, ma'am, have a nice day. So she proceeds to grab her cell phone and record me not having on a mask as if I am committing a felony 1 charge. Okay? And this is the derangement that you get, is that some people have problems and need therapy. They may have been privileged as a kid, and mind you, there's nothing wrong with being privileged. It's when you are no longer humble about your privilege is when you have the problem. I always tell people, if you are privileged, be happy that you're privileged. Don't have guilt. Don't have white guilt or rich guilt. I'm guilty for being rich, so let me not be as rich. No. So these are people who want to tell other people what to do. And the mask mandates and COVID in general have implored people to do that. And I think that is the problem, is that people are starting to feel some type of seniority and superiority, whether white, black, or whatever, to anyone else who is not following the rules. And that is my gripe. So in closing, just want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you drop a message in the inbox. Make sure you comment on the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button so you're alerted. Hit the notification button as well so you're alerted anytime I drop some new content. If you enjoy content like this, let me know. Say, hey Chris, I seen you live. I seen how you did the stand-up and you did the presentation on the TV. I like that. You need to keep it going. Let me know what y'all want to see and what topics that you want me to talk about. Let me know if you want me to bring other people on as well. If you want to be a guest on the Chris Hall Show, also shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. There's plenty of ways to get in contact with me. You know where I am. So in closing, I'm Chris Hall. You have been tuned into the Chris Hall Show. I'm out.